Fariba, it's so wonderful to see you. And we've been working together for quite a few years now as you work through Inside Out Learning, as well as do many of your own engagements as well. And I know you help to coach women leaders here at Inside Out Learning, as well as facilitate training programs.
Well, good morning, Sharon. It's so nice to see you. As I said, it's always nice to work with you. So, Fariba Alamdari, I am a senior consultant at Inside Out Learning, and I am an executive coach. Before that, I was vice president of Boeing Global Learning Institute, and I also led Boeing Commercial Marketing for 13 years. And before that, I was a professor and dean of manufacturing, engineering, and science at Cranfield University in the UK. I genuinely enjoy working with you, and what I like about your organization, focusing on inside out and not outside in. And that's very close to my values and my way of thinking.
I love that you said that because so often, right, we're trying to change the outer world, but the quickest path to changing the outer world is to change our inner dynamic.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then we see the changes manifest in the outer world.
Exactly.
So, well, today I know we're talking about a topic that's near and dear to both of our hearts, and that really is about coaching of women and the challenges that we face as leaders. And then how do we get some supportive pathways and help women to build those supportive pathways? So would love to hear just your initial thoughts on this topic.
I fully agree with you that women face distinct challenges. And based on previous conversations, some of them are external, but others are internal. Externals could be like stereotyping, bias, the so-called glass ceiling, work-life balance, expensive childcare, and so on and on. But the internal one is our own mindset, a fearful mindset. And when I say fearful mindset, I mean when we have hesitations, as simple as asking a question in a meeting, or sharing our ideas, or accepting challenging projects, or doubting our ability, or making a decision. The fear of being judged or rejected or failure stop us and creates barriers for our progress. So for anything I said, fear is not a bad thing. We all feel it in different situations. But the question is, how do we harness it? How do we channel it to develop fearless mindset? And when I say fearless, it doesn't mean be reckless or not recognize risk. It means that we lead with confidence, we lead with resiliency and courage. Yes. While we embrace uncertainty and we have calculated risk. So that is so important for women to develop that fearless mindset. But then always the question is, how do I do it?
Yes, exactly. So with the women leaders you've coached, what are some tools you've used to help them to transform from more of that fear-based mindset to a fearless mindset?
First of all, I always try to work with them and understand what is their goal. What is their ideal work or position they want to have? Then I try to understand their competencies, their knowledge, their experience. They need to be aligned. And if there are gaps, we need to fill that. So what are the barriers for where they want to be in a year time, in 5 years time, or their dream job or career? I mean, that is a very important element. And this is unique for different people. Is it their communication? Is it their competencies? Or is it their mindset? What I'm finding, because I am working with many executives, they have the competencies, they have the knowledge and skills. The major barrier is self-doubt. And you will be surprised how knowledgeable and expert these women are, but still they have that self-doubt. And I try to shift that to more self-empowerment. And one of the tools is having a journal of all your successes,
yes,
all your achievements. It's like a band. When things doesn't go well, which happens to all of us, sometimes things go well, sometimes it doesn't. Then you look and see that you are not in that position, executive position, by chance or luck. You have it. Sometimes things go back. And a fearless woman bounce back, but have an eye, bird's eyes view of your career and what you've done in life. And don't dwell on one negative event. And I really think that journal or a file of achievement is important. Just open it, looking at it, and know you can do it. Okay, this one, what I can learn from it.
Yes, I love that idea. And I'll tell you, even in my own life, when I have fear coming up about something and I start to see that self-doubt come in, it's wonderful to look at the successes and say, look, I got through all these things. We accomplished all these things. So it gives you that positive motivation again to shift and to focus on what you want to create, focus on that goal, and instead of the self-doubt. But you are right, and I've seen it more in women leaders. We tend to go more to imposter syndrome, and some of the male leaders might go more to, hey, I can do this, and even when they maybe can't, they think they can. So it's very important that we help support one another, I think, in really transforming out of that self-doubt, like you said, when we find ourselves in it.
Exactly. And I always encourage these wonderful ladies to develop a strong network with other women or men who are in the same position or they face similar challenges. So they can support each other, benefit from advices, benefit from each other's stories.
Yes.
Another element I cannot put more emphasis is communication and executive presence. Whether you are presenting to a leadership or negotiating your salary or next position, or externally you are communicating, that is so important to own your voice, talk with credibility. Remember, you know it, but I need to show it.
Yes.
And even the body language, the way you stand, is it in the corner or in the front? There are many tools and ways, as we said, from having a journal of your success and achievement to getting feedback through this network that you have and you trust. And be courageous to receive feedback and not have the fear of, oh, if I ask for feedback, it might be criticism and I don't want to hear that. No. And be courageous to give feedback to your peer, to your team, even your boss. Something you don't like, share it. Give feedback. And there are methods for that. You teach them.
Yes, exactly. You're so right. Being able to have that courage to speak your truth. But as you said, with executive presence, where you're thoughtful and you're respectful in how you do it, but firm, I think is really critical. And I love today that you talked about going from this fear-based mindset, self-doubt, to this fearless, confident, courageous mindset. And you gave 3 important tools that you can use in that journey with the journaling of your successes. So when you're feeling down or you feel that self-doubt, you read your journal and you see everything you've come through. And you also talked about the importance of supportive networks and having that support where you can go and get different opinions and feedback and have those feedback loops. And then communicating with executive presence confidently, thoughtfully, respectfully. And I think those are 3 important tools that our listeners right now can go and implement today and continue to do that throughout. Any words of wisdom that you want to leave to our audience today?
I would say trust yourself, because if you don't trust yourself, why should others?
I love that. And that's where we started, from the inside out. You start trusting and believing in yourself, and you will see others do the same.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't thank you enough. It's been wonderful to see you, and thank you for your time. I know what a gift this is for you to come and have this conversation today.
Anytime for you, Sharon. You're a great leader and good example and role model.